Hello and welcome back to IDP Bets. My name is Johny the Greek. How is everybody doing this week? Happy week 14. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Happy holidays to everyone. We are back in the saddle. I've got a great guest this week. You guys already know him. We've had him on a few times already at Bogman Sports, all one word on Twitter. He is a contributor for Fantasy Pros, the co-host of the InThisLeague.com family of podcasts. Known degenerate, friend of the show, it's Scott Bogman. Scott, how are you, sir?
Johny, thanks for having me back on. I'm doing great. I'm fat and happy after a good Thanksgiving. The Steelers keep winning games. So my Longhorns are, going to the SEC title game tomorrow. So I'm in a great festive mood, man. Not a lot can bring me down right now.
Nice. There you go. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I want to ask you about that Pittsburgh game, but we'll save that for the bonus bets. Yeah, so before we get into it this week, just a quick reminder for everyone. These are not even suggestions. We're just discussing the bets we might be making personally. Set a limit and stick to it. For help with problem gambling, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. We did go 4-4 last week. We missed on Kazir White by just a hair, and some other setups didn't come to fruition, but that's the way she rolls. We've been pretty good most of the season. Let's see what we got for week 14, though, and we'll start with Mr. Bogman. What do you got? First favorite bet, IDP bet, week 14.
Let's go with Max Crosby. It's 0.25 sacks, and I know he's not having his best season. He's probably been playing on that high ankle for a little bit, but got a sack last week, starting to look a little bit healthier, facing Tampa Bay this week, and we know they pass a lot, and the line doesn't give up a lot, but Baker will hold the ball too long on occasion and take some sacks. So I think that Max Crosby can get one of those where Baker just holds on to it a little bit too long, and we get to see Crosby wipe him out, because it seems like Baker is getting banged up every week and then coming back into the game after a couple plays or after a third down, or you think he's wrecked. It doesn't matter. He's the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps on ticking. So let's go with Crosby to get a sack here.
I love that. And you're so right. That literally stopped my heart last week. I was listening to the Tampa game, and they're like, oh, there goes Baker. And I need him right now. So that was not great. And plus money on the Crosby prop too. That's rare.
A
We'll take
rarity
that.
for Crosby. Yeah, it's just because he hasn't been the best. But again, got a sack last week. Tristan Wirfs definitely not 100%, even though he is playing and playing well. But yeah, I'm on Max Crosby this week for sure.
Nice. Yep. I'm with you on that one. All righty. First one I've got on my end. I'm going to go Micah McFadden over 7.5 combined tackles. This is on Underdog, but hopefully his price will be coming out here soon. Yeah, limited options Friday night. These guys have been slow rolling these lines on us. It's unbelievable. But
You're killing them too much, Johnny. You're killing them. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's not me. But this still looks good, right? So this is on Underdog. It should be on DK soon. So McFadden over 7.5 combined. He's done this in 2 of the last 4 games, and he's getting the Saints team this week that's allowing 18 linebacker tackles per game. That's 5th best across the league, so that's pretty good. And that tracks, right? These guys love to run the ball. They're a top 10 rushing offense. They average the 8th most rushing attempts per game throughout the league, New Orleans. Bobby Okereke is already out for the week, so the only negative factor for McFadden, his playing time, won't be an issue this week. He'll see that bump, up to 100% of snaps or so. Beyond that, the Saints are favored by 5.5. They're far healthier and they're far better than the Giants are right now. So I wouldn't be shocked if this was a bloodbath and we saw Kamara salting away the clock late and McFadden getting some easy tackles towards the end of the game, plus whatever else he gets all game long. What do you think about that one, Scott?
I love that one. And it's hard to say that the Saints are healthier than another team, but good Lord, the Giants are in a rough spot right now. And, losing Dexter Lawrence, I don't know why you wouldn't run the ball 50 times in this game. Like, it's going to be a lot of pushing those guys around. Burns and Thibodeau, great pass rushers. They're decent against the run too, but when you're missing a guy like Lawrence who sets up the whole defense, it's really going to hurt him. So I like this one for McFadden a lot.
Yeah, and no Okereke, and Deontay Banks has been out the last couple of weeks too. It doesn't look likely this week. Yeah, that defense is shredded. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not good.
Yeah. Yep. Alrighty. What do you got for number 2?
I'm going to stick on the other side of that game. Let's go to Kool-Aid McKinstry over 3.5 tackles plus assist. He hasn't hit this a lot, not the biggest tackler, but he's been on the field 99 and 100% of the snaps the last 2 weeks because of all of the injuries to the New Orleans secondary here, and they traded away Lattimore. So I think that Kool-Aid should get locked up on Malik Neighbors if the Saints are smart. It's just going to be like, well, let's just see. Let's see if our rookie can cover this stud rookie wide receiver and let him go at it a little bit. And I think that's what we're going to see. I don't think that anybody can cover Malik Neighbors. So I think he's going to catch a decent amount of footballs. And I think Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be there to make some tackles. So 3.5 is a really low number. And I think, like you said, if the Saints are salting this away on the other side, it's going to be Drew Lock trying to sling it to play comeback. So more opportunities for him to get some tackles in the secondary as well. So let's go with Kool-Aid over 3.5 tackles plus assists.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm with you on this lower number. The Giants were number 1 in wide receiver targets for a while, as weird as that was, mostly powered by Malik Neighbors by himself, essentially. So yeah, this makes sense, as wild as it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, they don't move him into the slot so much because, you want him on a Debo because Debo's their worst corner in coverage, but he plays a lot on the outside. I think it's like 75-25, and Kool-Aid's going to be on the outside there.
Yep, good stuff there. Alrighty. Yep, definitely like that. We love our corner props around here. I'm going to go safety for my second one. I want to take Jonathan Owens of the Bears over 5.5 combined tackles. This is also on underdog, but the line should be out soon. He's cleared this line in both games where he's been the injury replacement for Elijah Hicks. He's had 8 combined tackles in both games where he's been the injury replacement for Elijah Hicks. Hicks has already been declared out for the week. Owens played 99 and then 100% of snaps in those 2 games as the replacement. And this week they get the 49ers. They allow 16.2 safety tackles per game. That's the most in the entire league. So Owens has the playing time. He's got the matchup. That's about as favorable as it gets around here. And San Francisco is swirling the toilet. So they need to show up this week or it's over, right? So I think we're going to get the kind of offensive production that would power this. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you're right about the Niners. It's been tough, man. The Welsh, who I do all the In This League stuff with, huge Niners fan, not having a good year, especially after his team lost the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's been quite a disaster season in San Francisco. And a lot of people make the point of, look, they were super healthy last year. They haven't been healthy this year. But yeah, I think you should see, I mean, after that snow game where they're really handcuffed, they're going to want to open it up, right? You're going to want to get the ball to Kittle. You're going to want to get the ball to Jennings and Debo and these guys, which means they're probably going to possess the ball a lot. There could be some snow in that game too, right? There's a little bit of a flurry warning in San Francisco, I feel like. So it could be an interesting game there as well. But I do think that the safeties will have to be doing some work for Chicago here.
Yeah, nice. Let's hope so. Yep. Beautiful. All right. What do you got for your third one for this week?
Yeah, this is my last one, and I'm going to stick to that same game. Let's go with Leonard Floyd over 1/4 of a sack as well versus Chicago. Caleb Williams has taken 49 sacks. That's the most by 8 over any other quarterback this season. And if there is anyone who is willing to sit there and wait for someone to come and smack them, it is Caleb Williams. We saw him in overtime a couple weeks ago take the worst sack I've ever seen in my life. So, no Nick Bosa in this one, which doesn't really help Leonard Floyd, but it does mean he should get more cracks at it at least. So, yeah, I think Caleb will probably try to pass the ball. He'll end up holding it a little bit too long, and we'll see Leonard Floyd get to him. He had 2 sacks a couple weeks ago, 1.5 versus Seattle. So, I think he has 9 this year. He's been getting a decent amount. Or that might be like PFF, and the real numbers are different because PFF doesn't do like half sacks or whatever. So it might be 9 on PFF and like 6.5 according to NFL stats. But he's been getting to the QB a bunch.
Yeah, right. And we've been targeting this at least the last couple weeks, if not longer, just for the exact reasons you're talking about. And I think it's hit about half the time at least, and that's pretty good for sack props. So we'll take it. Yeah. Nice. Alrighty. Number 3 for me, I'm gonna take Jason Pinnock of the Giants under 5.5 combined tackles. This is on underdog. So this was wild. He's been under this line in every single game except 2 this season. And he gets a Saints team that only allows 12.1 safety tackles each week. That's 8th worst across the entire league. So yeah, he does play a lot, 100% of snaps each week. That's not great. But the matchup's perfect for this due to the Saints' preferred game script, which is run the ball a lot, occasional shot to MVS, rinse and repeat. There won't be much action around Pinnock to begin with, I think, this week. Beyond that, Nubin is typically the box or slot safety, with Pinnock being the deep man most of the time. So, without an opponent that pushes the ball down the field, he could be in for a slow day at the office. And that's what it's looking like it's going to be. What do you think about that?
I tell you what, when you said his name at first, I went, oh no. I feel like every time I take him to go over, he fails me every single time. But then you said under, and I was like, there we go. That's more like it. So I usually feel that life is too short to bet the unders. I like to take the overs. A lot of the time, especially on IDP numbers, if you take an under, your number is awful. It's like, minus 160, minus 175 or whatever. But I think that one is probably a decent one, probably more like minus 120 or minus 115. And Penix sucks. He's not like a guy that goes after extra tackles as well. He's a guy that is very happy watching somebody else make the tackle and then coming in and putting his hands on the guy. So, I've taken him like 4 times the last 2 seasons, and he has never hit for me. So I like an underplay here. But I feel like as soon as I take the under, it's the one where he stacks up 9. You know what I mean? And nobody saw it coming. So
yeah. No, I'm with you on this. I don't like the unders either, but yeah, I mean it makes sense in this case.
Yes, very much so.
Nice. All right. Well, I don't know if we have any bonus bets, but I do want to ask you something. So,
Sure.
side question. Steelers 6.5 spread this week. Are you taking that?
I don't ever bet on the Steelers or the Longhorns because when I do, this is my crazy wild superstition. It's like every time I do, they lose, and it's like losing twice. I lose my money and my favorite team loses. Yep. But I think they want some revenge on the Browns. If you can read between the lines, I am not going to George Pickens it, but I do think the Browns were helped out a little bit by the weather. They get Alex Highsmith back this week, along with Nick Herbig, who has been making huge strides. So I think the defensive line and the way that Jameis Winston played last week, the guy puts the ball in the air for grabs for his team or for the other team, no matter what. So, I think I'd take Pittsburgh at home.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It just felt like Mother Nature was too involved and too many wacky things happened last
lake
time.
Effect. Right. They did not tell us it was going to be lake effect. They said maybe some flurries. Wintry mix is what I was told, not, shake up the snow globe. And that's exactly what it looked like. That in the Buffalo game last week. Good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit much. Yep. Nice. All right. Well, that's good to know. I got one here. Let me run by you real quick. So this guy burnt me last week on the over, but he's in a good spot for the under this week. I want to take cornerback Mike Jackson, under 3.5 combined tackles for Carolina. So he's been under this line in 6 games already this season. He does play every snap, but this matchup is great against the Eagles. They probably aren't going to need to pass much in the first place to just annihilate this Carolina team. And they're only allowing 12.4 cornerback tackles per game. That's about the middle of the pack. But I'm hoping that J.C. Horn will be mostly responsible for A.J. Brown. And that's legitimately the only player that's targeted consistently by the Eagles each week is A.J. Brown. Beyond that, Carolina's the worst rush defense in the league. They're allowing over 160 yards per game on the ground. They're going to be missing Josie Jewell. So why do you even need to pass this week? And have you seen Saquon's over underline, by the way?
Yeah, what was it, 129? I mean, it
It's
was some
down to
absurd number.
yeah, it was 111.5. I just saw.
Yeah, 112.5. I'm looking at DK right now, and that's minus 120. I think I was thinking of his combined yards total is 130 and a half. So, yeah, I mean, they could run a triple option, I feel like, against Carolina. But, Johnny, are you trying to tell me we're not going to see another 250-yard and 3-touchdown day from Bryce Young? Are those days over already?
I'm surprised they started.
Yeah. Good luck with this O-line against Jalen Carter, the way he's been playing as well. I mean, yeah, I think Carolina's in for a long day on Sunday. I don't think it's going to be very fun. They've been looking better, but this is a tough buzzsaw to run into. So we'll see. They played the Chiefs hard. So, maybe they can do the same against Philly, but I just think Philly's playing at a different level right now.
Yeah. And would you agree that they'll probably prefer the rush just in general against that defense?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Kenneth Gainwell is like plus 400 on his touchdown call this week. I don't hate that one either. If they're up big, they might just pull Saquon and let Gainwell run a little bit. Let me ask you something. Would you have gone for that 4th and 1, or would you have kicked the field goal last night on Thursday Night Football?
Oh, I would have kicked the field goal, but
Hey.
yeah. I'm not. I mean, I'm a gambler, but not like that.
I mean, geez, especially after. I mean, the worst one was the one where they're on their own side of the field and they pitched the ball back 6 yards. I was like, what the hell are y'all doing? On 4th and 1, don't throw it back 6 yards. That's ridiculous. So I thought it was ridiculous to run that play, and then we saw Goff fall on the ground before he got the ball handed off too. So, yeah, that was not something that I would have done, but it worked out for the Lions. So there you go. That and Cincy going for 2 against Baltimore a couple weeks ago on Thursday night as well. Like, I don't hate the decision in the spot, but they had been awful on short yardage the whole night. So I don't know. Some of those decisions by some of those head coaches are making me scratch my head, but they're all, I love Tomlin, but they're all still better than any time Tomlin challenges. I mean, it's just like he challenges the worst calls ever. I feel LaFleur did that last night too, and a bunch of the Packers fans told me that as well. But just want to get your take on that because there's just no way in hell I would have run that ball.
Oh yeah, no way. Beautiful. Well, we got some good stuff out there. Is there anything else that struck your fancy? Anything else that stuck out to you?
No, I mean, there wasn't a lot out there for me to go through and look. So if there's some stuff that I like later in the week, maybe I'll tweet it out at Bogman Sports. But yeah, they are getting real stingy because of the guys like Johnny out there, making their money off of them. So yeah, these they're coming out later and later every week, it feels like.
Yeah, they definitely are, and they're keeping the good ones away from us. We were talking about that a little bit before we hit record. A couple weeks ago, Eagles set up in a great situation for corners, and the only corner we can bet on is Kenyon Mitchell, who barely tackles anyone each week. So
yeah, they don't catch the ball in front of him.
Right,
he's a shadow. So
yeah. But all right, hey, well, we got some good stuff out there. Yeah, Scott, I mean, the people know where they can find you, but just in case, please let us know what you're up to this season, where the people can find you. Any announcements for the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, I do the Fantasy Pros wrap-up show on Sunday nights. I'll be doing that this Sunday, and then we have Out of Bounds with myself, Joe Pisapia, and Welsh on Mondays at 2 Eastern. So that'll be around. Welsh and I do In This League Mondays and Thursdays every single week. We do Bet This League on some Fridays. It's just been tougher during the holidays. Baseball's coming back. We've recorded a couple baseball episodes as well. And I'm doing college football betting for Betting Pros. I have picks and props out for this week over there. And what we will be doing a lot of that for the bowl season as well. So, yeah, I mean, I am always on a show talking about something. So if you like my stuff, you can get tired of me really fast. So just check me out at Bogman Sports. So you can find all my stuff.
I love it. Thanks, my man. We love when you come on. You are a degenerate just like us, if not worse, which is saying something.
That's right. That's right. More sports to bet on.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Scott. We definitely appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel for the other shows, the flagship IDP Show podcast, the IDP After Show, the IDP Trade Show, and IDP Drafts. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so for just $5 a month over at theidpshow.com. We've got premium features for paid supporters that we know you'll enjoy. Follow us on Twitter at the IDP Show, all one word. Thank you for listening and good luck this week, everyone. We'll catch you guys same time, same place next week. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.